Hey everyone, Shabby Gamer here, and welcome to the SWE King of the Cruiserweights tournament. Now, this is going to be something that's going to be done separately to our normal universe mode, but of course it all links in, and the rankings points will still link in as well. What we're going to do is we're going to have 3 brackets of 8 guys. As you can see on the screen, there's bracket number 1. We're going to work our way all the way through the tournament until we get to a triple threat final, which will take place at a King of the Cruiserweights pay-per-view, which will take place in a couple of weeks' time. So as you can see on the screen, we've got bracket number 1. We're going to do 3 matches per episode, which should work out fantastically, of course, apart from our final one, which will be a full 7-match pay-per-view. We're going to start things off in this one with Neville versus Rich Swann. Then we're going to see Pete Dunne versus Rey Mysterio Jr. And our final match of this episode will be Cedric Alexander versus Will Ospreay. So without further ado, let's crack straight into Neville versus Rich Swann. And here we go. Now, I do apologise if I sound a little bit hoarse. I've not long got off the plane. I've literally just come back off holiday about 4 hours ago off the plane. And I think the aircon on the plane's going to be a pretty sore throat. So I sound a bit rough. But I'm sure we can get through this either way. And what a fantastic way to start off this King of the Cruiserweights tournament than with Neville versus Rich Swann. 2 of the premier Cruiserweights in the WWE at this point in time. And of course Neville, the self-proclaimed King of the Cruiserweights, looking to confirm himself in that position here in this tournament. Now, like I said, there is 3 brackets of 8. I'm not going to give you exactly who's going to be in them because there's a few surprises in there. But if you watch Octane tomorrow, you will see a few of the newer people who are going to be involved in this tournament. Yeah, we've got a few debuts coming up for you on Octane tomorrow. But it is going to be a really good one. I'm just so excited to get through this now. I've given myself a lot of extra work to literally getting off the plane, and this video needs to be uploaded in about 12 hours time. So I've not got a lot of time to do what I need to do, but I just couldn't hold back. I just really, literally, I've been away for 2 weeks, lying on a sunbed, getting extremely sunburnt. And all I've been thinking about is things that we could record when we get back. And this is just the tip of the iceberg of some of the cool stuff that myself and, of course, Mr. PJ Toby have lined up for you. Now, of course, both these guys are from PJ Toby's brands as well. Although my memory is defeating me a little bit. I believe Neville was originally on Mayhem, but did PJ Toby draft him across? I've got a funny feeling that Neville may have been drafted, not drafted, but swapped. Let's have a look at my paperwork here. Yes, Neville was traded across, of course, to Adrenaline, where we already have Mr. Rich Swann. So both these guys are from Adrenaline. Yes, because Neville will be facing off against Ricochet this week, won't he? Yeah, I'm on top of things now. I'm on top of things. So like I said, the ranking points will be involved in this as well. So if you lose in the first round, you lose 5 points. If you win in this first round, you gain 5 points. And of course, those points will keep on building up. So this is a great way for the Cruiserweights to push themselves up the ranking system. And here we go. We are underway. Neville versus Rich Swann. The first match in the first round of the King of the Cruiserweights tournament. So basically what we've got for you, if I get my piece of paper here, I've planned it all out. Look at me planning stuff like a legend. So basically what we've got is 4 episodes of first round matches. Then we're going to have 2 episodes of second round matches. Then we've got 1 episode will be all 3 semis. And then we have that all important final, which will be a pay-per-view. Culminating in the triple threat match and the crowning of our first King of the Cruiserweights here in SWE. I am struggling with my voice. I do sound a bit rough, I know I do. But I've got a lot to record today. I've put myself in a bit of a sticky wicket here, I think. You know. So yeah, we got after this one for you, we've got Pete Dunne versus Rey Mysterio, the Bruiserweight versus one of the original Cruiserweights. And then we have got, of course, what a match to finish this episode off. Cedric Alexander versus Will Ospreay. Again, Will Ospreay, in my opinion, probably one of the best, if not the best, Cruiserweight in the world at this point in time. As Neville, showing that not all Cruiserweights are just about high-flying and flips anymore. Neville there showing incredible strength to pull off that deadlift German suplex. Now drops into the pin. 1. Only a 1 count there on Rich Swann. Neville now with the elbow right to the top of the head of Rich Swann, who then forces Neville away. Stomp on the chest of Neville. I do sound really rough, don't I? I do apologise. Is that better? No, it's not. No, I still sound a bit rough, don't I? Oh well, we will continue going on. We can fight through this, I'm sure we can. Neville, big elbow to the face there of Rich Swann. Now looking to go up top. Does he have a red arrow in his arsenal already in this match? No, he goes for the corkscrew. Is that a Phoenix Splash? I think that might be a Phoenix Splash. That may have just been a Phoenix Splash. I'm a little bit out of it, as you can tell. 2 weeks with no recording. I've lost my flow. I've lost my rhythm. Considering that before I went away, I was recording so much to try and get ahead. I had to get 2 weeks worth of episodes ahead, which I've never, ever, ever been 2 weeks ahead. I don't like being 2 weeks ahead, to be honest, because things change in wrestling, and I like to make sure that we can talk about stuff that's relevant during the matches, which I've struggled with a little bit. Neville now sending Rich Swann into the turnbuckle face first, but Swann fighting back. Sit out scoop slam there on Neville. Now Swann making his way up to the top rope. What does he have in his arsenal? A frog splash straight into the pin. 1, 2. Ooh, only a 2 count. Now what a coup this would be for Rich Swann if he could eliminate the king of the Cruiserweights straight away in this tournament. Rich Swann lining Neville up, sends him into the corner once again. Oh, but Neville fighting back. Neville going for here. Sunset flip. Rich Swann quite well placed there. I thought Neville might consider the red arrow there, but obviously thinks that not enough damage has been done to Swann. He may have been right as Swann fighting back. Swann now taking Neville up on his shoulders into a gutbuster. Swann now bringing Neville back up. Neville gets sent face first into the turnbuckle. Swann with a Swanakarana. I don't know anybody else that has that incredible vertical leap to jump up and do that Frankensteiner that way. Now Rich Swann lining up Neville. What does he have planned here? Swann taking Neville up, looking for a sidewinder suplex. Straight into the pin. 1, 2, and oh, that was close to a 3, that was. You don't get much closer to a 3 than that. Now, I will say as well that both Cruiserweight champions are going to be involved in this tournament. I won't say who they are, just in case they've changed. I don't think they've changed, have they? Well, at this point in time, the Cruiserweight champions are Sin Cara, sorry. And, of course, PJ Tovey's Cruiserweight champion over on Adrenaline is P.T. Williams. So both of those guys are involved in this tournament. And should they not hold on to the belts the entire tournament, they will be defending those belts at that pay-per-view. The King of the Cruiserweights in a couple of weeks' time. There's Neville with a pin after the Saito suplex. 1, 2. I need a 2 count. I think my voice is loosening up a little bit now. It's getting there. It's loosening up a little bit. Loosening up. I can't even talk. Neville standing corkscrew moonsault into the pin once again there on Rich Swann. 1, 2. Only a 2 count. So remember, the winner of this one will take on the winner of Pete Dunne and Rey Mysterio Jr. Which again will be a fantastic match. Then again, there is some incredible matches. I'm going to pick a couple out. I'm not going to tell you all the people that are involved in this, but Leo Rush versus Matt Sydal. Ricochet versus Akira Tozawa. Kushida versus Tyson Kidd. There's some real big matches in this one. Rich Swann escaping from Neville and comes back into the ring. Catches Neville unawares there with that right hand. Sending Neville into the corner. I'm going to go Australian there, didn't I? Sending Neville into the corner. Back in now for Frankensteiner. Rich Swann, they're celebrating. Rich, you've got to be taking advantage here. You're facing off against the man who self-proclaims himself the King of the Cruiserweights. Swann again with a frog splash. This could be all. There's the pin. 1, 2, and Neville's out. Neville has been eliminated in the first round of the king of the Cruiserweight tournament. Neville, unfortunately for him, I don't think can call himself the king of the Cruiserweights anymore. Somebody else is going to be taking that moniker away from him. And could it be Rich Swann? Rich has taken it here this evening. He makes his way into the quarterfinals of this tournament to face off against the winner of Pete Dunne or Rey Mysterio Jr. He's a big Frankensteiner. Followed up there by the Frog Splash. And that was enough for the 1, the 2, and the 3. And Rich Swann eliminating Neville in round number 1. So like I said, ranking points are up for grabs in this tournament. So Rich Swann has just gained himself 5 points. And Neville, unfortunately for him, has lost 5 points. Great win here for Rich Swann. But who will he be facing in the quarterfinals of this King of the Cruiserweight tournament? It's time to find out. And here is that second match. It is Pete Dunne, the Bruiserweight, taking on Rey Mysterio Jr. And here we go. Why is it changing arena? This is a single tournament. I don't understand why it's changing location every time. But let's just ignore that. Let's just pretend it's not happening. That's the best way, isn't it? So here is the Bruiserweight Pete Dunne, of course, from my brand Octane. We sort of don't know where to place Pete Dunne at the moment. I've used him in the European Championship so far in Octane. He could obviously be a Cruiserweight here, but I also have other plans for him as well. I think that Pete Dunne is very much somebody, as we've seen in some of his matches so far in the WWE, he's an incredible, incredible wrestler who could easily not only be a Cruiserweight, not only be upper mid-card, but who knows, potentially, I'm not against potentially giving this man a shot at the Octane Championship, but he's going to have to earn it. And this is just the beginning of Pete Dunne's rite to passage. If he can show in tournaments like this that he is a top-level wrestler, then we will give him the top-level matches and championship opportunity that he deserves. So it's all down now to Pete Dunne to show us exactly what he can do, and what a way to start things off by facing off against a man who I've referred to a couple of times as the original. He's not the original Cruiserweight, of course he isn't, but if you speak to a lot of the current day Cruiserweights, they will say that they grew up watching the Cruiserweight division in WCW and moving into WWE after the collapse of WCW. And this man is a man who has really inspired so many young wrestlers to pick up the style and the way they have, and especially Mexican wrestlers as well, which makes Rey Mysterio Jr. a sort of legend in the era. And not only that, but Rey Mysterio Jr., from my opinion, my memory, I might be completely wrong on this, but he's the first man that I sort of remember to go from being an out-and-out Cruiserweight to making his way into the main event picture and winning that championship as well. And that's pretty cool for me. I don't remember anybody else being so much of a Cruiserweight but managing to pull that off. I know it's probably happened in the past. I suppose it's happened... Has it happened in the past? I don't remember many others doing it. It probably has happened in the past, but like I said, I don't remember many others being that sort of fixed in one division and moving straight up the way they did. And there's no reason why not. He was a capable wrestler. The crowd are behind him. The fans loved him. So there's no reason why he should be given that opportunity. And I think that's the same with a lot of wrestlers at the moment. It's almost like WWE have their set people they want to put in a certain position, but we're all sat here thinking, well, surely other people could be higher at the card. It's something that me and Pedro Timmer mentioned, I think, in our 205 Live Shabby Talk, where we sort of said about people being pigeonholed in the Cruiserweight division for their entire career, and I don't want to see that happen. The likes of Cedric Alexander, for me, the likes of Rich Swann, and Neville as well, their future could be much higher up the card. And I hope they are given that opportunity as time goes on. Noam Dar, for me, is a man who's so full of... He's so full of charisma that he could easily be that. I see Noam Dar as like a young sort of Miz. Maybe not the most fantastic in the ring. I think he's probably better in the ring than the Miz is. But somebody who has the charisma and just has the natural charisma. You know, a bit like Nakamura. Doesn't necessarily need to say much. He just has that natural aura, that natural charisma about him that really does give him something a bit special, that X factor in the ring. And I would like to see WWE give these other cruiserweights the opportunity they deserve higher up the card, because I don't want to see these people get fixed and stuck in certain situations. But Rey Mysterio Jr. at the moment dominating this early part of the match. Remember, the winner of this one will face off against, of course, Rich Swann in the quarterfinals. Suplex there by Pete Dunne. Trying to get some offense in this match now. Like I said, he needs to prove himself, and this is a massive match for Pete Dunne. Taking on a man who has, like I've said earlier on, dominated the Cruiserweight division for 20 years now? 20 years plus? Yeah. Oh, easily, about probably 25 years, I'll probably say now. Rey Mysterio Jr. And it's not going to be easy for Pete Dunne, but he's got to try and use his youth and exuberance and maybe his brute strength over Rey Mysterio Jr. here, who seated takes Pete Dunne down. And Dunne dropping out of the ring here. Dunne probably a bit more well known for his dirty tactics as well, and he might have to use that to try and get an advantage in this match and try and build upon that. There's a nice show of strength there. A punt to the gut now of Rey Mysterio Jr. as well. Dunne to the outside. Punch in thin air. A lovely part of this game that everyone always loves. But Dunne now has got control of Rey Mysterio Jr. And that's a good thing. Like I said, I personally, as a Brit and someone who enjoys the strong style of wrestling as well, I really want to see Pete Dunne do well. Not just in this game, but in real life as well. And I think after that match himself and Tyler Bate had at NXT TakeOver about a month or so ago, I just feel like it's going to happen for him. It has to happen for him. Rey now bringing Pete Dunne up and showed some strength of his own, but Dunne slides out the back. But Rey catches him once again, sends him into the corner. Hoists him up, and what is Rey looking for now? Oh, Rey looking for some strength of his own. German suplex, but hooked his legs and kept himself up there. Rey now has a chance to fly, and a double foot stomp to Pete Dunne. Now, Rey's biggest disadvantage on this game is his finishing maneuver, because he has to hit that Hurricanrana onto the ropes or it does not work. And there, it did not work whatsoever, but there's the pin. 1, 2... Oh, and Pete Dunne is able to kick out. Yeah, that's the biggest problem at the moment, is that that situation, having to hit that a certain way. But there's the frog splash there by Rey Mysterio, of course, a homage to his friend Eddie Guerrero. There's the pin. 1, 2, and no, only a 2 count. Pete Dunne does survive. But looking at Pete Dunne, he literally survived by the skin of his teeth, as Rey now back up to the top rope once again, dropping a leg drop now across the neck of Pete Dunne. And continuing the assault. Rey has the experience. I don't think that that kick out is going to fluster him too much. Dunne went for the standing enziguri, but now, well, Dunne is fighting back. Taking Rey up into a sit-out powerbomb. 1, 2... Only a 2 count, but Dunne showed he's not out of this one. Slamming the arm of Mysterio into the mat. Now Pete Dunne is lining Mysterio up. If he could pull this off. Dunne getting around the back of Mysterio now. Hooks him in. There's the pin. 1, 2, and 3. Pete Dunne has done it. Pete Dunne has eliminated possibly one of the biggest cruiserweights in history of professional wrestling in Rey Mysterio Jr. And Pete Dunne will go on to face off against Rich Swann in the quarterfinals of this King of the Cruiserweight tournament. And wow, was not expecting that, you know. I don't know, it's a tricky one. I'm saying I wasn't expecting it, but at the same time I was sort of hoping for it. I really wanted to see Pete Dunne pull this out, and he has really pulled some off big here. Both these guys, of course, from Octane as well. Pete Dunne's going to get the all-important 5 ranking points, and Rey Mysterio Jr. is going to drop 5 ranking points here this evening. And Pete Dunne confirms his place in the quarterfinals to face off against Rich Swann, and that, of course, will be Octane versus Adrenaline. But that's 2 matches down this evening. We have a big, big final match here for you. Let's get straight into it. And here it is, the match you've all been waiting for. Cedric Alexander takes on Will Ospreay. And here we go. This is going to be a great one as well. Like I said, I personally think that Will Ospreay is possibly the best, one of the best, if not the best, cruiserweight in the entire world at the moment. He's just incredible on form, and I think it's very, very close for me between himself and Ricochet. Cedric Alexander is a man who I'm so glad is in the WWE because I think he really deserves it. And he has been away from injury for quite some time, recently returned, and I'm hoping that WWE do give him the run that he does deserve. And I'm pretty sure that this man, at some point in the future, will be a Cruiserweight champion in the WWE. Now this, again, of course, all these matches, I will say that all these matches were drawn out of a hat by myself, by the way. I've not put them together. They've been all drawn out of a hat. But for the 3rd match in a row here this evening, it is a full all-branded match. The first match was all adrenaline, the second match was all octane, and this one is all adrenaline once again. Now the way this has worked is myself and PJW have both put forward... How many people's in this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We both put forward 12 people each. That's right. It could have been from, of course, myself from Throwdown or Octane, and for PJ Tovey, either Adrenaline or Mayhem. But of course, it's mainly Adrenaline and Octane because those are the 2 brands with the Cruiserweight divisions. I was gutted that I couldn't get Will Ospreay because I really wanted him for my Adrenaline brand because we got the European Championship as well. It would have been fantastic for him. But PJ Tovey, he knew how big it was, especially for the Cruiserweight brand to get a hold of Will Ospreay, and that is exactly what he did. And this match, I think, is going to be absolutely immense. And of course, the winner of this one will face off against the winner of PJ Black versus Mandrews, which will be the opening match of our 2nd episode. Now, I probably can give you the... I'm not going to give you all the matches, but I'll give you the matches for next episode. And that is going to be PJ Black versus Mandrews, of course, which you've already seen. It's going to be Juventud Guerrera taking on Christopher Daniels. And it is going to be Ricochet versus Akira Tozawa. Oh, it rematches for you straight away. Right, this is a rematch, as you may have just heard me say there. I shouldn't have said that. I should have cut that out and been nice and seamless, but I buggered that up. Basically, this match ended up in a double count-out the first time, and the game doesn't allow double count-outs or draws in tournaments. Which is just... I didn't want to have it. It's happened quite a few times, that double count-out thing, and it's something that 2K and Ukes are going to have to look at when they do release 2K18, because there are still certain bugs and glitches that do make the game very, very frustrating. But luckily for me, I've been away for 2 weeks and I'm still quite happy, so it's not annoyed me too much. But if it happens again, it probably will. So yeah, of course, both these guys are from Adrenaline. Ranking points are very, very important for both these guys as well. Especially Will Ospreay, he did win a Money in the Bank qualifying match this week on Adrenaline. So he wants the momentum moving forward towards that pay-per-view to potentially get a hold of that briefcase. And if you look at the people that are in that match, Ospreay probably would have a big advantage because I'm pretty sure he might be the most comfortable with ladders. So this could be a fantastic little period of time for Ospreay. Think about it. If he could go on and win the King of the Cruiserweights tournament, and then go on and win the Money in the Bank as well, he would be just unstoppable in this universe mode, wouldn't he, old Ospreay? But then again, if he's going to miss phenomenal forearms like that, then potentially he's not going to be as good. Cedric Alexander now locking in a figure 4 leg lock. But Ospreay managing to break free, but the damage does look like it's been done to the knee of Ospreay, and that could be good for Cedric Alexander. If Ospreay does have a damaged knee, then it's going to be very difficult for him to pull off some of the high-fly maneuvers that we'd expect to come from Will Ospreay. Ospreay now into a Saito suplex on Cedric Alexander. Heading up to the middle rope, and let's see if his knee is affected. He's only gone to the middle rope rather than the top, which might be an indication there is a slight pain in that knee. Ospreay now tornadoed it. It didn't seem to affect him too much, that knee, though, so he might actually be okay. Maybe that was just a little tester to see how it acted. And maybe now he'll be able to go for something more impressive. Now here he's heading up to the top rope. There's the red arrow. The move they actually won that match with, Adrenaline. It's only enough for a 2 count though. That corkscrew shooting star press. Ospreay now dragging Cedric into the middle of the ring. And a step up enziguri to the back of the head. And Cedric really struggling here. Then Cedric flips back up to his feet and out of nowhere, playing possum with a kick to the side of Ospreay's head of his own. Pinned now by Cedric. I don't think enough damage has been done, but that might be clever little in-ring work there by Cedric. Gets the pin. Knows he's not going to win it in that situation, but it does give him the chance to have a couple of seconds of rest and recuperate while making Ospreay kick out, which is going to use his own energy. Ospreay, oh my word! Cedric went for something big, then Ospreay caught with a big kick to the face. 1, 2, and 3, and Will Ospreay, I think, may have just knocked Cedric Alexander silly there with that massive kick. I don't know what Cedric was looking for, but Ospreay caught him, and that was incredible. That was a great finish. That was just, yeah, just that. That's all I've got to say about it. What a first episode this has been of the King of the Cruiserweights tournament. And of course we've still got many more to come for you. We've got another first round set of matches coming up for you in a couple of days' time. It's just been a great start. Rich Swann, Pete Dunne and Will Ospreay all confirming their place in the second round. The quarterfinals of this King of the Cruiserweight tournament. And next episode we've got PJ Black versus Mandrews, Juventud Guerrera versus Christopher Daniels, and Ricochet versus Akira Tozawa, all fighting to join them. But before we finish this episode, let's have a quick look at brackets. Well, bracket number 1, I suppose it is. It's all we're really affected here this evening. Let's crack straight into it. So there we go, that is an update of bracket number 1. Of course, we've not touched bracket 2 or 3 yet. Of course, bracket 2 will start next episode. But as you can see, in the quarterfinals, we've got Rich Swann versus Pete Dunne and Will Ospreay versus the winner of PJ Black and Mandrews, which will take place in a couple of days' time. So, of course, that is the end of this first episode of the King of the Cruiserweights tournament. I hope you have enjoyed it. Of course, if you have, then please do hit a like button. And, of course, subscribe if you are new around here and you would like to see some more. If you are new around here, be sure to check out the rest of the SWE Universe mode. It is really getting to full effect now. We have had one pay-per-view nearly. We've got our first pay-per-view for Mayhem, haven't we, coming up in a few days' time. That'll be one pay-per-view for each brand. Then we'll be in full swing of things. We've got tournaments going on now. We've got lots of championships. We've got a lot of fun stuff happening. And, of course, don't forget to check out Octane tomorrow for some big debuts in the SWE Universe mode as well. I've been Shabby Gamer, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you very, very soon, tomorrow in fact, for our next episode of the SWE Universe mode.